The restaurant was closing. Mia wiped down the last table, her feet aching after another 12-hour shift. Outside the window, the city lights of Chicago blinked like tired stars. She was 28 years old, and this was her life now. Wipe tables, smile at customers, go home to her tiny apartment, wake up, do it again. But her little brother needed her. Tommy was only 16, still in high school, still believing the world could be good. Someone had to pay the bills. Someone had to keep the lights on. "You can go home, Mia," her manager called from the kitchen. "I'll lock up." Mia nodded, untying her apron. Her hands were red and rough from washing dishes. Her back hurt, but she never complained. Complaining changed nothing. She grabbed her coat and headed for the back door. That's when she heard it. A crash. Then voices, low, dangerous, angry. Mia froze. The alley behind the restaurant was usually empty at midnight. But tonight, she heard footsteps, shouting, and then a gunshot. Her heart jumped into her throat. "Call the police," her brain screamed. "Run. This isn't your business." But something stopped her. Maybe it was curiosity. Maybe it was stupidity. Or maybe, deep down, she was tired of being invisible. Tired of a life where nothing ever happened. She cracked open the back door and saw him. A man lay on the ground, slumped against the brick wall. His expensive suit was torn, blood soaked through his white shirt. But it wasn't the blood that made her gasp. It was his eyes. Even in pain, even dying, his eyes were fierce, sharp, like a wolf caught in a trap. 3 men stood over him, laughing. "Should have paid up, Dante," one of them sneered. "Now look at you." The great Dante Russo, bleeding out in an alley like a dog. Dante. She knew that name. Everyone in Chicago knew that name. Dante Russo, the most dangerous man in the city. The crime boss who controlled half the underground. The man even cops were afraid of. And he was dying 10 feet away from her. The 3 men walked away, their laughter echoing off the walls. Mia stood in the doorway, shaking. "Leave. Walk away. He's a criminal. A killer." But then Dante's eyes found hers. And something passed between them. Something she couldn't explain. It wasn't a plea for help. It was recognition. Like he saw her. Really saw her. For the first time in years, someone looked at Mia Chun like she mattered. She made a choice. A stupid, dangerous, life-changing choice. She ran to him. "Don't touch me," Dante growled, even as blood poured from his side. "You're dying," Mia said, her voice steadier than she felt. "And I'm not asking permission." She pressed her apron against his wound. He hissed in pain, his jaw clenching. Up close, she could see he was younger than she expected. Maybe 35. Strong jaw, dark hair, a scar across his left eyebrow. "Why?" he asked, studying her face. "Why help me?" "Because I'm an idiot," Mia muttered, pulling out her phone. His hand shot out and grabbed her wrist. Fast, strong, dangerous. "No hospitals," he said. "No police. You'll die. I'll die in prison too. And they'll kill everyone I love before I get there." Mia stared at him. "I don't know what to do." "Yes, you do." His grip loosened. "You're stronger than you think." Something about those words hit her like a punch. When was the last time anyone said she was strong? When was the last time anyone saw her as anything but a waitress? "My apartment," she heard herself say. "It's 6 blocks away. Can you walk?" Dante tried to stand and nearly collapsed. Mia caught him, her small frame buckling under his weight. He was heavy, solid muscle, but she held on. "We can't stay here," she said. "Those men might come back." Together, they stumbled out of the alley. Every step was agony. Dante left a trail of blood on the sidewalk. Mia kept looking over her shoulder, expecting bullets, expecting death. But they made it. 6 blocks. An eternity. But they made it. Her apartment building was old and small. Peeling paint. Broken elevator. She half carried him up 3 flights of stairs, her legs screaming in protest. Inside her apartment, Dante collapsed on her couch. Blood soaked into the cushions immediately. First aid kit, he gasped. Do you have one? Mia ran to the bathroom. Her hands shook as she grabbed the small white box from under the sink. It had bandages, alcohol, scissors. Nothing close to what he needed. When she came back, Dante had removed his jacket. His shirt was torn open. And there on his side was a bullet hole. Oh God, Mia whispered. It went through, Dante said, his voice tight with pain. That's good. Means it didn't hit anything vital. How do you know? I've been shot before. Mia poured alcohol on a cloth. This is going to hurt. Everything hurts. She pressed the cloth to his wound. Dante's entire body went rigid, but he didn't scream. He just breathed, slow, controlled breaths. Like he'd done this 100 times. For 20 minutes, Mia cleaned and bandaged him. Her hands moved on autopilot. She'd taken care of Tommy when he was sick. She'd stitched her own cuts when money was tight. She knew how to survive. Finally, it was done. Dante leaned back, his face pale but alive. You saved my life, he said quietly. Mia sat on the floor, exhausted. You can thank me by leaving before my brother comes home. Your brother? He's staying at a friend's house tonight. But he'll be back tomorrow. And he can't see this. He can't see you. Dante studied her. You're protecting him. Always. Who protects you? The question hit harder than it should have. Mia looked away. I don't need protecting. Everyone needs protecting. Silence filled the apartment. Outside, sirens wailed in the distance. Inside, two strangers sat together, surrounded by blood and secrets. Why were those men trying to kill you? Mia finally asked. Dante's expression darkened. Because someone wants me dead. Someone close to me. Someone I trusted. A traitor? The worst kind. Mia pulled her knees to her chest. Are you really as dangerous as people say? Dante met her eyes. Yes. Should I be afraid of you? Probably. But I'm not. He smiled just a little. Then you're braver than most men I know. They sat like that until dawn broke through the window. And in that pale morning light, something impossible began to grow. Trust. 3 days passed. Dante should have left. Should have disappeared back into the shadows where he belonged. But every time he tried to stand, pain ripped through his side. The wound was healing, but slowly. And Mia kept taking care of him. She went to work every morning, came home every night with groceries she could barely afford. She changed his bandages, brought him soup, never asked questions. You're going to get yourself killed, Dante said on the third night, watching her heat up dinner on her tiny stove. Probably, Mia replied, stirring the pot. I'm serious. The people looking for me, they don't stop. They don't forgive. Then why are you still here? The question hung in the air. Dante didn't have an answer. Or maybe he did, but he wasn't ready to say it out loud. Because the truth was dangerous. The truth was that this small apartment felt safer than his mansion ever had. That this stubborn waitress made him feel human for the first time in years. I'll leave tomorrow, he said. You said that yesterday. Tomorrow, I mean it. But he didn't leave. Because that night, Tommy came home. Mia's little brother burst through the door at 9 p.m., backpack slung over his shoulder, talking a mile a minute about his basketball game. He didn't notice Dante at first, not until he looked up and saw a stranger sitting on their couch. Tommy froze. Who's that? Mia's heart stopped. Tommy? I'm Michael, Dante said smoothly, standing up despite the pain. An old friend of your sister's. I'm in town for business, and my hotel had a fire. She's letting me crash here for a few days. Tommy looked between them suspiciously. Mia doesn't have old friends. Tommy. Mia snapped. But Dante laughed. Actually laughed. Your sister talks about you all the time. Says you're going to play college basketball. Tommy's suspicion softened. Yeah, maybe. If I'm good enough. You're good enough, Dante said. I can tell. You've got that look. Like you're hungry. Like you're willing to fight for what you want. Something shifted in Tommy's expression. Like he'd been waiting his whole life for someone to say that. For the next hour, Dante and Tommy talked basketball. Stats. Players. Strategy. Mia watched from the kitchen, her hands gripping the counter. This was wrong. Dangerous. Tommy couldn't get attached to a criminal. Couldn't look up to a killer. But watching them together, watching her little brother smile wider than he had in months, watching Dante be gentle and patient and kind, she didn't know what to feel. Later, after Tommy went to bed, Mia confronted Dante. "You can't do that," she whispered harshly. "Do what?" "Be nice to him. Make him like you. You're leaving, remember? And when you leave, he's going to ask questions." Dante stood, moving closer. "I was being honest. He reminds me of someone."
"Who?" "Me."
"Before everything went wrong." Mia's anger faltered. "What happened to you, Dante? How does someone become this?" Dante looked away. For a long moment he didn't speak. Then, finally, "I was 16 when my father was killed. Murdered by a rival family. They burned our house down. I watched my mother die trying to save my little sister." Mia's breath caught. "I survived because I ran. I was a coward. And for 2 years I lived on the streets, stealing, fighting, doing whatever it took to stay alive. Until someone found me, took me in, trained me, taught me that the only way to survive in this world is to be stronger, meaner, and more dangerous than everyone else." "And your sister?" Mia asked quietly. Dante's jaw clenched. "She didn't make it out of the fire." Tears stung Mia's eyes. "I'm sorry. Don't be. I'm not telling you this for pity. I'm telling you so you understand. I'm not a good man, Mia. I've done terrible things. Hurt people. Destroyed lives. But when I see you with your brother, the way you fight for him, the way you sacrifice everything." He turned to face her, his eyes raw. "You remind me that good people still exist." Mia's heart pounded. They were standing so close. Too close. She could feel the heat radiating off his body. Could see the scars on his knuckles. Could smell his cologne mixed with antiseptic. "Dante," she whispered. He reached out and tucked a strand of hair behind her ear. His touch was featherlight. Gentle. Like he was afraid she might break. "I should go," he said, his voice rough. "Before I do something stupid." "Like what?" "Like fall for a woman who deserves better than me." And then he walked away. Back to the couch. Back to the distance. But the words hung in the air between them. And everything changed. The attack came on day 7. Mia was at work, taking orders from a table of businessmen, when her phone buzzed. A text from Tommy. "Mia, there's someone at the door." Her blood ran cold. "Don't open it." She typed back frantically, her hands shaking. Too late. Mia dropped her notepad and ran. Out of the restaurant. Into the street. She didn't care about her job. Didn't care about anything except getting home. She burst into her apartment 10 minutes later, gasping for air. Tommy sat on the couch, looking confused. Dante stood by the window, gun in hand, his face carved from stone. And on the kitchen table sat a bottle of wine. Expensive. Wrapped in red ribbon. "What's going on?"
Tommy asked.
"Go to your room," Mia said immediately.
"What? Why?"
Tommy now. He'd never heard her use that tone before. He scrambled off the couch and disappeared into his bedroom, slamming the door. Mia turned to Dante. "What is that?" "A message," Dante said coldly. "They know I'm here."
"How?"
"Doesn't matter. What matters is this," he pointed at the wine. "Is probably poisoned." Mia's stomach dropped. Poisoned. It's their style. Elegant. Quiet. Deliver a gift. Wait for me to drink it. And I'm dead within hours. Then we throw it away. We call the police. No police. Dante's voice was ice. The moment cops get involved, they'll burn this building down with everyone inside. They'll kill you, your brother, everyone you've ever loved. Tears pricked Mia's eyes. "I don't understand. Why can't you just leave? Why can't you disappear?" Dante set the gun down and walked to her. "Because I was poisoned 3 weeks ago." Mia blinked. "What?" "That night you found me. Those men didn't shoot me first. They poisoned me at a business dinner. Slipped something into my drink. The gunshot wound was just to finish the job. But you saved me before the poison could kill me." But you're fine now.
No, I'm not.
Dante's expression was grim. The poison they used is called Nightshade Kiss. Slow-acting. Takes weeks to kill you. And the only way to cure it is with an antidote that costs $500,000 and is nearly impossible to find. Mia's world tilted. You're dying? I have maybe 2 weeks left. Less if I don't rest. Then why are you still here? Why aren't you getting the antidote? Dante looked at her like she was the only thing in the world that mattered. Because the person who poisoned me is someone I trusted. Someone in my inner circle. And until I figure out who it is, I can't go back. They'll kill me the moment I walk through the door. So you're hiding. I'm surviving. Mia sank into a chair. This was insane. All of it. She'd saved a dying mafia boss, and now killers were leaving poisoned wine on her kitchen table. I have to go, Dante said quietly. Tonight. Before they hurt you or Tommy. Where will you go? Somewhere safe. Somewhere they won't think to look. You don't have anywhere, do you? Dante's silence was answer enough. Mia stood up. Then we find the antidote together. What? You heard me. We find the cure. We figure out who betrayed you. And we end this. Dante stared at her like she'd lost her mind. Mia, this isn't some adventure. These people will kill you. They're already threatening me. Might as well fight back. You're a waitress. And you're a dying crime boss. Guess we're both out of our depth. For the first time in days, Dante almost smiled. You're insane. Probably. Mia crossed her arms.
So,
where do we start? Dante ran a hand through his hair. Then finally he nodded. We start with the one person who might know where to find Nightshade antidote. A black market doctor who operates out of the old warehouse district. But Mia, his eyes locked onto hers. Once we do this, there's no going back. You'll be in this.
Deep.
Forever. Mia thought about her life. The endless shifts. The exhaustion. The invisibility. And she thought about Dante. About the way he looked at her. About the way he made her feel alive.
I'm already in, she said.
Outside, thunder rumbled. The storm was coming. The warehouse smelled like rust and regret. Mia followed Dante through the darkness, her heart pounding so hard she thought it might explode. They'd left Tommy with a trusted neighbor, an old woman who asked no questions. Now they were here in the most dangerous part of the city, looking for a doctor who worked for criminals. Stay close, Dante whispered. And if shooting starts, you run. Understand? Mia nodded, even though she knew she wouldn't run. Not anymore. They descended a staircase into a basement. Flickering fluorescent lights revealed a makeshift medical clinic. Tables, equipment, and a man in a blood-stained coat. Dante Russo, the doctor said, not looking up. I wondered when you'd come crawling back. I need information, Marcus. Information costs money. Dante tossed a thick envelope onto the table. 50,000. Now talk. Marcus opened the envelope, counted the bills, and smiled. Nightshade Kiss antidote. Nasty stuff. Only 3 people in the city have access to it. Names. Victor Chen. Runs the docks. Isabella Torres. Controls the west side. And Marcus paused. Your own second in command. Luca. Mia felt Dante go rigid beside her. Luca? Dante's voice was deadly quiet. He's been making moves. Quiet ones. Building alliances. Word is he wants your throne. Dante's fists clenched. Luca had been his best friend for 15 years. His brother in everything but blood. Where is he? Last I heard, your estate. Sitting in your office like he already owns it. Dante turned and walked out without another word. Mia hurried after him. Outside, she grabbed his arm. Dante, wait. He betrayed me. Dante's voice shook with fury. Luca. My friend. My brother. He poisoned me and left me to die in an alley. Then we need a plan. You can't just walk in there. Watch me. Dante. Mia stepped in front of him. If you go in angry, you'll get killed. You're still weak. Still healing. We need to be smart about this. Dante looked at her, his eyes blazing. Then, slowly, the fire dimmed. You're right, he said quietly. I'm not thinking clearly. Let me help. What do we know? They spent the next hour in Dante's car, planning. Luca would have guards.
Security.
But Dante knew every inch of his estate. Every secret entrance. Every blind spot. There's a tunnel, Dante said, pointing to a hand-drawn map. Runs from the wine cellar to the gardens. My grandfather built it during Prohibition. Luca doesn't know about it, so we sneak in.
We.
You think I'm letting you do this alone? Dante studied her face. Why are you doing this, Mia? Really? You could walk away right now. Go back to your life. Mia met his eyes. Because you're not the only one who's tired of running. My whole life, I've played it safe. Worked hard. Kept my head down. And where did it get me? Nowhere. For once, I want to fight for something. For someone. Dante's expression softened. He reached out and cupped her face. If we do this, he said quietly, everything changes. You'll be tied to me. To this world. There's no going back. I know. You could die. I know. And you're still willing? Mia smiled. I saved your life once. Might as well finish the job. Dante pulled her close and kissed her. It wasn't gentle. It wasn't careful. It was desperate and fierce and full of everything they couldn't say out loud. Mia kissed him back, her hands tangling in his hair, her heart racing. When they finally pulled apart, both were breathing hard. Let's go get your antidote, Mia whispered. They drove to Dante's estate in silence. The mansion loomed ahead, massive, beautiful, deadly. They parked half a mile away and approached on foot. The tunnel entrance was hidden behind an old tool shed, covered in vines. Dante opened it, and they descended into darkness. The tunnel was narrow and damp. Mia's claustrophobia kicked in, but she forced herself forward. Dante moved ahead, gun drawn, every muscle tense. Finally, they reached the wine cellar. Dante pushed open the hidden door, and they stepped into his estate. It was midnight. The house was silent. But Mia could feel eyes watching them from the shadows. They crept through the halls, avoiding guards, until they reached Dante's office. The door was open, and inside, sitting at Dante's desk, was a man Mia had never seen before. Handsome, young, dangerous.
Luca.
Hello, brother, Luca said, smiling. I've been waiting. Dante raised his gun. Where's the antidote? Luca leaned back in the chair. What antidote? Don't play games. You poisoned me. Now give me the cure. Luca's smile widened. You think I poisoned you? Marcus told me. Marcus told you what I paid him to say. Luca stood up slowly. I didn't poison you, Dante. But I know who did. Dante hesitated. You're lying. Am I? Luca walked closer. Think about it. Who had access to your drinks that night? Who stood to gain the most from your death? Who has been making moves to take over your territory? Mia's blood ran cold as realization hit. Not you, she whispered. Someone else. Luca nodded. Someone you trust even more than me. And then, from the shadows, a figure stepped forward. Mia gasped. It was Marcus, the doctor. But he wasn't alone. Behind him stood a woman. Elegant, beautiful, cold as ice. Hello, Dante, the woman purred. Miss me? Dante's face went pale. Sophia. Surprise, Sophia said, raising a gun. Did you really think I'd forgive you for killing my father? And before anyone could move, she fired. The bullet hit Luca in the chest. He collapsed, blood spreading across his shirt. Dante dove for cover, pulling Mia down with him behind the desk. Stay down, he shouted. Gunfire erupted. Marcus and 3 other guards opened fire, bullets tearing through the office. Wood splintered. Glass shattered. Mia covered her head, screaming. Dante returned fire, his movements precise and deadly. 2 guards dropped. Marcus scrambled for the door. But Sophia didn't run. She walked forward calmly, reloading her gun. You took everything from me, she said, her voice echoing over the chaos. My father. My family. My life. So I took yours. Slowly. Painfully. Just like you deserve. Dante stood, his gun aimed at her heart. Your father was a monster. He deserved what he got. And so do you. They stared at each other, two predators locked in a death match. Then Sophia smiled. But I'm not going to kill you, Dante. That would be too easy. Instead, I'm going to watch you die slowly from the poison. And I'm going to make sure you watch everyone you love die first. Her eyes slid to Mia, starting with her. Sophia's gun swung toward Mia. Time slowed. Dante moved, fast, desperate. He threw himself in front of Mia, just as Sophia fired. The bullet hit him in the shoulder. He went down hard, gasping in pain. No! Mia screamed. Sophia laughed. How romantic. The great Dante Russo, dying for a waitress. Pathetic. She aimed again. But this time Mia didn't freeze. She grabbed the gun from Dante's hand, raised it and fired. The shot was wild. Untrained. But it hit Sophia in the leg. Sophia screamed and dropped her weapon, collapsing to the floor. Mia stood there, shaking, the gun still in her hands. She'd never held a gun before. Never hurt anyone. But for Dante, for this man who had somehow become everything, she would do anything. Mia, Dante gasped. She ran to where Luca lay bleeding. His eyes were open, his breathing shallow. Stupid heroics, Luca coughed. Never my style. Don't talk, Mia said, pressing her hands to his wound. We'll get you help. No time. Luca grabbed her wrist. Antidote in the safe. Behind, the painting. Code 1-8-9-3. What? The year Dante's sister was born. Luca's eyes found Dante's. Always had your back, brother. Dante crawled over, his face twisted in pain and grief. Don't you die on me. Too late. Luca smiled weakly. But I kept my promise. I kept you safe. And then he was gone. Dante stared at his friend's body, his jaw clenched, so tight it looked like it might shatter. Mia touched his shoulder gently. The antidote. We need to get it. Dante nodded numbly. Together, they stumbled to the painting, a portrait of Dante's mother. Mia pulled it aside, revealing a safe. She entered the code with trembling fingers. 1-8-9-3. The safe clicked open. Inside was a single vial of clear liquid. And a note. Dante picked up the note, his hands shaking. It read, If you're reading this, I'm probably dead. I knew Sophia was planning something, so I stole the antidote 3 weeks ago. I couldn't tell you. She had eyes everywhere. But I made sure you'd survive. Even if I didn't. You're my brother, Dante. Always have been. Always will be. Luca. Dante's composure finally broke. He sank to his knees, clutching the note, his shoulders shaking with silent sobs. Mia knelt beside him and wrapped her arms around him. She didn't say anything. There was nothing to say. She just held him while he grieved. Behind them, Sophia dragged herself toward the door, leaving a trail of blood. But Mia didn't care about Sophia anymore. Let her crawl away. Let the police find her. Right now, all that mattered was the man in her arms. The man who had lost everything, but was still fighting to survive. Take the antidote, Mia whispered. Please. Dante looked at the vial, then at her. If I take this, if I survive. What? I can't go back to that life. I can't be that person anymore. Then don't. It's not that simple. Yes, it is. Mia cupped his face. You choose.
Right now.
You choose who you want to be. Dante stared at her. Then, slowly, he uncapped the vial and drank the antidote. They sat there in the wreckage of his office, surrounded by death and blood and broken dreams. But they were alive. And sometimes, that's enough. 6 months later. Mia wiped down the counter of her small coffee shop, smiling as the afternoon sun streamed through the windows. The place was cozy. Simple. Nothing fancy. But it was hers. Well, theirs. The bell above the door chimed, and Tommy walked in, basketball tucked under his arm. "Hey, sis." He grinned. "Coach says I'm starting next game." "That's amazing." Mia hugged him tight. "I'm so proud of you." Tommy pulled back, his expression turning serious. "Is he coming today?" "He should be. He had a meeting." "Good. I need to ask him about that college scout thing." Mia smiled. Over the past 6 months, Dante had become something like a big brother to Tommy, teaching him about responsibility, about choices, about being a good man. It was strange, beautiful, unexpected. After that night at the estate, everything changed. Dante turned himself into the FBI. Not for his crimes. Those were too tangled to ever fully prosecute, but for information. He gave them everything on Sophia's operation, on the corrupt cops she'd paid off, on the network of criminals she'd built. In exchange, he got immunity and a chance to start over. He sold everything. The mansion, the cars, the empire. And he walked away. Some people thought he was crazy.
Weak.
A coward. But Mia knew the truth. It took more strength to walk away than it ever did to stay. The bell chimed again, and Dante walked in. He looked different now.
Softer.
The hardness in his eyes had faded, replaced by something gentler. He wore jeans and a simple jacket. No expensive suits. No guns. Just a man trying to be better. "Hey," he said, smiling at Mia. "Hey yourself." She poured him a coffee. "How'd the meeting go?"
Good.
"The community center approved our proposal. We start building next month." Dante had spent the last 6 months working with at-risk youth. Kids like he used to be. Kids who needed someone to show them a different path. It was his penance. His redemption. And every day he got a little bit closer to forgiving himself. Tommy clapped Dante on the shoulder. "Dude, I need advice. There's this scout coming to my game next week." "Say no more." Dante grinned. "Let's talk strategy." They sat at a corner table, deep in conversation. Mia watched them, her heart full. A customer came in, a young woman with a tired face and rough hands. A waitress, probably. Working 2 jobs. Barely surviving. Mia knew that look. She used to see it in the mirror. "What can I get you?" Mia asked gently. The woman glanced at the menu, then at her wallet. "Just water, please. I'm waiting for someone." Mia nodded. Then she poured a large coffee and brought over a muffin. "On the house," she said softly. The woman's eyes filled with tears. "Thank you. We all need a little help sometimes." After the woman left, Dante came up behind Mia and wrapped his arms around her waist. "You're too kind," he murmured into her hair. "I learn from the best." He turned her around to face him. "I love you, you know that?" Mia smiled. "I know. Marry me." She blinked.
What?
Dante pulled a simple silver ring from his pocket. No diamonds. No flash. Just a band engraved with words.
You saved me.
"I know I'm not perfect," Dante said quietly. "I know I've done terrible things. But you make me want to be better. You make me believe I can be. So, Mia-chan, will you marry me?" Tears streamed down Mia's face. "You're insane." "That's not an answer." "Yes." She laughed through her tears. "Yes, I'll marry you." Dante slipped the ring onto her finger and kissed her.
Soft. Sweet.
Full of promise. Tommy hooped from across the shop. "Finally. I thought you'd never ask." They all laughed. And for the first time in her life, Mia felt complete. But life has a way of testing us. Of reminding us that peace is fragile. 1 week later, Mia was closing the coffee shop when she noticed something wrong. A black car parked across the street. Windows tinted. Engine running. Her blood ran cold. She locked the door quickly and pulled out her phone, dialing Dante. "Something's wrong," she whispered. "Where are you?"
The shop.
"There's a car outside. It's been there for 20 minutes. Get to the back."
Now.
"I'm 5 minutes away." Mia hurried to the back room, her heart racing. She grabbed a baseball bat they kept by the storage closet. Her hands shook. "Not again. Please, not again." She heard the front door handle rattle. Then crack. Someone was breaking in. Footsteps. Heavy. Deliberate. Mia raised the bat, backing into the corner. The door to the back room opened. A figure stepped through, and Mia swung with everything she had. The bat connected with a sickening crack. The figure grunted and stumbled back. Jesus, Mia. She froze. That voice. Dante. He stepped into the light, rubbing his shoulder. You've got one hell of a swing. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I thought. I know what you thought. He pulled her into his arms. But I'm here now. You're safe. The car outside. FBI. They're watching the shop because we got a tip. Mia pulled back. What kind of tip? Dante's expression darkened. Sophia escaped from prison 3 days ago. They think she might come after us. The world tilted. She escaped. She had help. Someone inside. But Mia, listen to me. He gripped her shoulders. I won't let her touch you. I promise. You can't promise that. Yes, I can. Because this time I'm ready. This time I know she's coming. For 3 days, they lived in fear. FBI agents watched the coffee shop. Tommy stayed with the neighbor. Dante barely slept, always watching the windows, always waiting. And then, on the 4th day, Sophia made her move. But not against Mia or Dante. Against Tommy. The phone call came at midnight. Mia answered, barely awake. Hello. Hello, Mia. Sophia's voice was silk over steel. I have something that belongs to you. Mia's blood turned to ice. Where is he? Your little brother is fine.
For now.
But that can change very quickly. If you hurt him, you'll what? Come find me? That's exactly what I want. Dante grabbed the phone. Sophia, let the kid go. This is between us. Oh, Dante. It stopped being between us the moment you chose her over your empire. Now it's about watching you suffer. Name your terms. The old lighthouse. Pier 49. 1 hour. You and Mia. No FBI. No backup. Or the boy dies. The line went dead. Dante stared at the phone, his jaw clenched so tight Mia could hear his teeth grinding. We have to call the FBI, she said.
No.
She'll kill him if she sees cops. Then what do we do? Dante looked at her. Really looked at her. I do this alone. No. Mia, she wants both of us dead. If I go alone, maybe I can negotiate. She doesn't want to negotiate. She wants revenge. Then I'll give it to her. Dante's voice was cold. Final. I'll trade myself for Tommy. Absolutely not. It's the only way. No. Mia's voice cracked. I didn't save your life just to watch you throw it away. We do this together. Like everything else. They stared at each other. Two people who had learned to fight. To survive. To love. Together, Dante finally said. They drove to Pier 49 in silence. The old lighthouse loomed ahead, dark and abandoned. Waves crashed against the rocks below. They parked and walked toward the entrance, hand in hand. Inside, the lighthouse was gutted. Empty. Just concrete and shadows. And in the center, tied to a chair, was Tommy. Mia, he shouted. Don't. Quiet, Sophia said, stepping from the shadows. She held a gun to Tommy's head. Or I'll blow his brains out right now. Mia's entire body shook with rage and fear. Let him go. Put your guns down first. Dante slowly removed his weapon and placed it on the ground. Mia did the same. Good. Sophia smiled. Now step back. They did. Sophia circled them like a predator. Do you know what it's like to lose everything? To watch the person you love most die in front of you? Yes, Dante said quietly. I do. Then you understand why I have to do this. Killing us won't bring your father back.
No.
But it'll make me feel better. Sophia raised her gun, aiming at Mia. Wait, Tommy shouted. Take me instead. Everyone froze. What? Sophia turned to him. You want revenge, right? You want Dante to suffer? Then take me. Kill me. Let them go. Tommy, no. Mia screamed. But Tommy ignored her, his eyes locked on Sophia. I'm the thing Mia loves most in the world. If you kill me, you destroy her. Isn't that better than just shooting them? Sophia considered this. Then she smiled. Smart kid. She swung the gun toward Tommy. And Mia snapped. She launched herself at Sophia with a scream, tackling her to the ground. The gun went off, the bullet ricocheting off the concrete. They fought, clawing, punching, desperate. Mia had never fought anyone in her life, but rage gave her strength. Dante lunged for the gun on the floor, but two men appeared from the shadows, Sophia's backup. They grabbed him, slamming him against the wall. Tommy struggled against his ropes, shouting. Mia and Sophia rolled across the floor. Sophia was stronger, trained, vicious. She got on top of Mia, hands around her throat, squeezing. You took everything from me, Sophia hissed. Now die. Mia's vision blurred. Her lungs burned. She clawed at Sophia's hands, but it was no use. This is it, she thought. This is how I die. But then she remembered every choice that led her here. Every moment she chose to fight instead of run. She wasn't that scared waitress anymore.
She was something else now.
A survivor. With the last of her strength, Mia grabbed a piece of broken glass from the floor and drove it into Sophia's side. Sophia screamed and let go, stumbling back. Mia gasped for air, her throat on fire. She grabbed Sophia's dropped gun and aimed it with shaking hands. Don't move, she rasped. Sophia laughed, blood pouring from her wound. You won't shoot. You're too good. Too soft. Try me. They locked eyes. And Sophia saw the truth. Mia would pull the trigger. To protect her brother. To protect Dante. She would do whatever it took. It's over, Sophia, Dante said, having knocked out the two men. He walked over and took the gun from Mia's hands. Let it end. Sophia's laughter turned bitter. It'll never end. There will always be someone coming for you. Always another threat. You can't escape this life, Dante. No matter how hard you try. Maybe, Dante said. But I can try. Every day, I can wake up and try to be better. He lowered the gun and pulled out his phone, dialing 911. What are you doing? Sophia gasped. Calling the police.
Turning you in.
Letting justice decide your fate. That's not justice. Maybe not. But it's not revenge either. And I'm done with revenge. Within minutes, sirens filled the air. FBI agents swarmed the lighthouse. Sophia was taken away in handcuffs, screaming threats until the very end. Tommy was freed. He immediately hugged Mia so tight she thought her ribs might crack. You're insane, he muttered into her shoulder. Completely insane. Yeah, Mia said, crying and laughing at the same time. I know. Dante watched them, a small smile on his face. And for the first time in his life, he felt something he never thought possible.
Hope.
The community center was packed. Kids filled every corner, playing basketball, doing homework, learning music. The walls were covered in colorful murals. Laughter echoed off the ceilings. Mia stood in the doorway, watching it all with a smile. This place had been Dante's dream. A safe space for kids who had nowhere else to go. A chance to break the cycle. And it was real. Thriving. Making a difference. Mrs. Russo? Mia turned to see a young girl holding a drawing. Yes, sweetie. I made this for you. The girl handed her the picture, a crayon drawing of two people holding hands. That's you and Mr. Dante. Because you saved him. My mom told me the story. Mia's throat tightened. It's beautiful. Thank you. The girl ran off, giggling. Mia looked at the drawing, tears in her eyes. She'd gotten so used to being invisible, to being nobody. But now, everywhere she went, people knew her story. The waitress who saved the Mafia Boss. The woman who chose love over fear. It was surreal. Overwhelming.
Perfect.
There you are. Dante walked up, basketball in hand, sweat on his forehead. He'd been playing with the kids all afternoon. How's it going? Mia asked.
Good.
Tommy's teaching the advanced class now. Kid's a natural coach. Mia smiled. Tommy was in college now, studying to be a teacher. He came back every weekend to volunteer. Life was good. Strange. Unexpected. But good. Dante wrapped an arm around her waist. You okay? You've been quiet today. Just thinking. About that night. The night I found you in the alley. If I had walked away. But you didn't. I almost did. Dante turned her to face him. But you didn't. You chose to help. To fight. To believe in something. And that choice changed everything. Mia touched his face. Do you ever regret it? Leaving that life? Every day, Dante said honestly. But not for the reasons you think. I regret the time I wasted. The people I hurt. The man I was. But this. He gestured to the center, to the kids, to her. This is worth every sacrifice. Even when it's hard? Especially when it's hard. They stood together, watching the sunset through the windows. Two broken people who found each other in the darkness and chose to build something beautiful. I'm pregnant, Mia said suddenly. Dante froze. What? I found out this morning. I wanted to tell you at home, but I couldn't wait. For a long moment, Dante didn't move, didn't speak. And Mia's heart sank. He doesn't want this. He's not ready. But then Dante laughed. Actually laughed. A sound of pure joy. He picked her up and spun her around, both of them laughing and crying at the same time. We're having a baby, he whispered, setting her down gently. A baby. Are you happy? Happy. Dante cupped her face. Mia, you've given me everything. A second chance. A reason to live. A family. I couldn't be happier if I tried. They kissed, soft and slow, while the world continued around them. And in that moment, Mia realized something profound. She used to think her life was small, meaningless. Just wipe tables, go home, repeat. But she was wrong. Every choice matters. Every small act of kindness. Every moment of courage. That night in the alley, she chose to help a stranger. And that choice rippled outward, changing everything. She saved a man. And in return, he saved her. Not from danger. Not from death. But from a life half-lived. Sometimes the most dangerous thing you can do is play it safe. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is choose love when the world demands fear. And sometimes the person who needs saving the most is you. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like, subscribe, and share. Because everyone deserves to believe that second chances are possible, that redemption is real, and that love can bloom even in the darkest places.